welcome back everyone to the 95th episode of the Tundra Cast. Today I got Ryan.
What's up, boys?
And Nick.
Hey.
And today it's the annual Tundra Cast trade deadline preview. The deadline is in, I believe, like 19 or 18 days. It's fast approaching, and to be honest, the trade talks have kind of died down ever since the Lindholm and Monahan trades, which kind of sucks. But yeah, it should be a very fun deadline. It's definitely a seller's market right now. I mean, you look at the prices that Monahan got, like a first round pick. Lindholm got a boatload in return, so it should be fun to see what teams do. Specifically, our three teams. The Oilers should be adding. The Leafs, I don't know, and I kind of wonder about Pittsburgh too, because they haven't been great recently. I think they lost the other day against LA, so...
Yeah, we just lost the Yager game, and that's kind of like the final straw. I'm like, you lost the Yager game? Are you serious? So we'll see.
Yeah. And so today we're going to use the fourth period's trade watch list of 2024. They have 30 players, some honorable mentions, and we'll just go through all of them. So the first player that they have is Noah Hanifin. From the Calgary Flames. Obviously, he's a UFA at the end of the season. Teams reportedly linked New Jersey, Arizona, Boston, and for some reason, Tampa Bay. I don't know what assets Tampa Bay has. But, Hanifin is an interesting one because, he's probably the best defenseman on the trade market today. I don't know if you want to give up a lot for him unless you're sure you're going to re-sign him, which, I mean, hell, he might get $8 to $9 million in free agency. And honestly, like, I kind of stay away if I'm a contender. I don't think we should, if I'm a team, I blow all my assets on him. But I'm curious to see what you guys think about Noah Hanifin.
I mean, for me, Noah Hanifin is... I think on a cup contending team, I think ideally you want him as a number 2 or 3. I don't think he's quite good enough to be a number 1 on a team that wins the Stanley Cup. He's not Pietrangelo, Makar. He's not at that level. And so paying him north of $8, maybe $8.5 million on an extension seems like it could be, iffy. I am really intrigued, though, at the idea of a team like Arizona trading for him. They've got a ton of assets. They have a bunch of second-round picks. They sent one for Sean Durzi. They have a bunch of prospects. I wouldn't be shocked if Arizona goes, hey, we're a team that is probably looking in the next 2 to 3 years to be decent, or maybe starting to push for a playoff spot. Hanifin's only 26, 27 years old. If you lock him into a 7-year deal, 7 to 8 year deal, you basically get him for the rest of his prime. And the contract cuts right about when his productive years will probably end, which is like around 33, 34. And that's your guy, right? That becomes the guy in Arizona. He's like a Jakob Chychrun replacement, basically. So I think that's really interesting if that's something, depends on the cost, because I don't think Arizona will want to give up their first round pick this year for Noah Hanifin. I think it'd be comical if they did that. But yeah, I just think in this cap strap market, I'm not sure which teams would be able to go all in on Hanifin.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I guess it really depends on the asking price because they did really well in the Lindholm trade, I think. Like, they got Verstevitz, who we like, obviously. And I'm looking at a team like New Jersey right now and looking at what they have. I know Dougie Hamilton's out, but I think they played together or they were traded for each other. I can't remember.
They're traded for each other, yeah.
Yeah, they're traded.
Yeah, it's very foggy. Okay, I thought they played they played with each other. I was like, maybe that makes a little bit of sense, but like, Arizona's pretty intriguing. I just don't think Boston or Tampa really has any assets to get a guy like Noah Hanifin, but New Jersey and Arizona kind of makes sense. I just don't know if Arizona is really in a good position to push for playoff spots. So New Jersey probably makes the most sense in this case. But I agree. I think he'll probably just be like a number 3, number 4 guy on a team, especially on a team like New Jersey. But it really just depends on who's going to also sign him long term. Like you mentioned, it's not like you want to trade, so many assets for a guy you're going to get for like 30 games. You know what I mean? If you make it far. So
I just can't.
Hanifin's an interesting one.
I just can't see him getting more than what Arizona got for Chychrun, because Chychrun was a really good number, again, like number 2 or number 3 on a cup contending team, ideally. But the thing was, Chychrun was on the current HANIFIN deal, except he had like 3 more years after in terms of cost controlled, effective play. And so Ottawa took that swing, knowing they could keep him for 2 to 3 years for a pretty reasonable cap hit. Whereas for HANIFIN, you're going to have to pay him a bunch. And if Calgary is looking for a first plus, like, I don't know, man. Maybe it happens, right? I didn't think Lindholm would get a first plus Brew, but that happened. So anything is possible.
Under the radar team, what about Dallas?
Dallas is pretty stacked. I'm not sure what their cap space is like either. At the moment, maybe I should have pulled up cap friendly before I started this. Someone's already on it.
Yeah, I can tell by the keyboard.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get there.
Well, you know what? We're going to talk about HANIFIN. Let's talk about the number 2 guy, Chris Tanev, who's also on Calgary.
Yeah, Tanev. He's 34 now. Jeez.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah. No, I just remember him, like, it's just crazy how fast time goes, I guess. But Dallas is linked here. I could definitely see that in Dallas's case. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of cap, though, $4.5 million. Kind of the same point I made about HANIFIN, but you're going to want to pay HANIFIN like $8 or $9 million, it seems like. But Chris Tanev, I know you wanted him on Edmonton as well. I think he'd be perfect on Edmonton.
Yeah, like he slots in for CC.
I think if you want to replace a guy like CC, I mean, that team looks really good. It's one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the NHL as of late, and that can get you far. I mean, the Pittsburgh Penguins won one of their cups, and they were out of a playoff spot in December, right? So, I think Edmonton's going to be a good fit. Again, Tampa is linked here. I don't see that. Toronto, I don't know.
I don't want him. Can I be honest, guys? I don't really want him.
Well, you don't even have the picks for him, right? You have to trade your first, basically, to get Tanev.
I don't think Trevor wants to trade his first.
Yeah, I don't want him to trade our first either.
That's true. You don't really have a lot of picks.
Yeah, like frankly, unless we're getting like a legit like number 2, and we can get him for the rest of his prime, I don't want him. I don't want to trade our first or Minton or Cowan. Like he better be Morgan Riley's defense partner on that right side for the rest of Riley's contract. Like that's the mindset
for the next 7 years.
Like the next 5 to 7 years, yeah. If we're trading, like I would rather trade our first this year, Fraser Minton, Toby Niemela, and the 3rd round pick plus contracts and get that guy than just trade our 1st round pick and for Chris Tanev in a 4th, because Tanev is gonna fall off a cliff in the next 2 years. He's like, I can just feel it. And knowing the Leafs look, we're gonna trade for him in his 2nd game as a Leaf, like Nick Foligno, like our previous trade acquisition. He's gonna like break his foot blocking a shot, and then he's not gonna gel with the team. We're gonna miss him for 20 games. His first game back is gonna be like 2 games before the playoffs start. Then he's gonna start playing with in the playoffs, but he's not gonna have any chemistry with the team because he hasn't been skating for 2 months. And then he's gonna look like crap. And then the fan base is gonna turn on him, and then he's not gonna re-sign with us. And we basically traded our 1st round pick away for 7 games, Chris. I don't want it. If we're gonna trade our first, might as well go all in. Trade more assets, not named Nyes or Cowan.
Yeah.
And go get a big guy. Like that's my mindset on the Leafs trade deadline. Or if you can get Tanev, like no one wants Tanev because he's old and he's like there's injury risk, and we can get him for like a 3rd and a 5th plus like a C+ tier prospect. Okay, fine, sure. Like I'm okay with losing that for Chris Tanev, even if we only get like 20 games of him. But I'm not trading a 1st round pick for a guy who might leave and isn't, for me, a long-term solution.
All right, so what's your prediction? Where does HANIFIN go and where does Tanev go?
I like Dallas a lot. I think Dallas could be an option for both of those guys. If you send back a Ryan Suter contract, like maybe get some retention on HANIFIN, you could fit him in there. I think he'd be great. I don't know if you'd be able to extend him long term with Hakanpää and Harley hitting free agency, and Harley is gonna want to raise for sure.
Oh yeah.
As well as Ty Dellandrea, I think might be gone next year, but Pavelski, if he signs another short-term deal, but I'm not sure they'd be able to afford HANIFIN long term. But if they could, I think HANIFIN to Dallas would be cool. It'll be either them or Arizona for me. For TANEV, I think he's going to the Oilers.
I'd love that. I'd love that so much.
It's interesting to see Vancouver as a team that TANEV is linked with as well, for like a little reunion. But I'm not entirely sure if they have room for him. Like, they got a pretty good decor, like performance-wise. But HANIFIN, I'll probably, based on the teams that are linked, like Dallas is a good shout, even though they're not in the list. But like New Jersey or Arizona probably makes the most sense just based on assets. But New Jersey probably, if you're looking for a team that can push for a playoff spot, and New Jersey's had a bit of a rough year with injuries as well. Maybe HANIFIN's that guy that can slide in. But yeah, that's basically all I have. I do like Edmonton as a fit for Chris Tanev a lot. My question is it make more sense to retain a guy that's going to be making less the next year and making more the next year? Because I don't know if there's much of a point retaining a guy that's just going to make more money if you're going to re-sign him the very next year. I don't know. Maybe if you're making a long push. I don't know. That's always been a bit of a touchy subject for me, but
I mean, I think with Edmonton, they're one of the few teams with assets and a swappable contract, right? For TANEV, it's probably as easy as swapping CC and getting Calgary to eat like $1 million, unless there's like another contract that you can throw in. Shay would know better than me. But I think Edmonton is in a better position to go quote unquote all in, because I think their team is stronger than a team like Toronto's. And I think the Western Conference, I think it's wide open right now.
That's what I was saying. I think there's like 7 good teams in this West that can win it besides St. Louis.
Exactly. Like I'm saying, like with the East is a weak conference, but the top of the East is as loaded as it's ever been.
Florida, it's Florida or Carolina for me, honestly.
Well, the West is easy when you have teams like the Sharks and the Ducks and the Blackhawks and the Coyotes and maybe the Flames, and you know what I mean. Like that's why they're so good.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I think Edmonton is in a position where they can go all in for him, and they don't really mind. Vancouver is really interesting because I think this is a unique situation where it's their first year contending, but it's also like an all-in year because I think they have a bunch of contracts that they have to renew.
No, Pettersson's like a RFA this summer, I think. He's going to get like, what, 13 and a half?
He's going to get paid.
So it might be an all-in because Pettersson's an RFA, Lindholm's a UFA that they just got. Dakota Joshua is probably going to get a raise. He's been really good. Hronik's an RFA. And their entire blue line is basically just free agents. They have Quinn Hughes and Noah Juleson, who's actually been really good this year. Shout out Noah Juleson.
Yeah, he's made a comeback. I love seeing that.
Yeah. So I think this might be a year where they go all in because they don't know if their team's ever going to be as good as whoever it is post-trade deadline this year.
Yeah, their whole decors.
It might go after him.
Their whole decors free. Like Zadorov, they just got 2 when he's a free agent next year. Like craziness. Tyler Myers, he's making $6 million.
That might be good.
We'll see.
It's a good thing he's expiring. It's a good thing he's expiring.
That's true.
I think they're probably just gonna take the money that they save on him and basically pay Pettersson with it.
Yeah,
like that's
true. They could do that, or if they somehow get Tanev, they can retain Tanev potentially. I mean, we'll see. Yeah. They're the same age.
Third point on the list, Adam Henrique, which is honestly an interesting one. Making 5.825, but 50% retention. I'm doing the math in my head here. I think that's around 2.9. Right? 2.9. But here's the thing. Here's my argument. Last year when the Leafs got O'Reilly, they got him through 75% retention. If we do that with Adam Henrique, that's down to like 1.45. So you're getting you could potentially get Adam Henrique at a $1.45 million cap hit to play in your top 6, which would be amazing for any contender. And the contenders listed here are Colorado, Carolina, New Jersey, the Rangers, Edmonton, the Islanders, and Boston. And I feel like, Honestly, Colorado jumps up to me on this one. They need a 2C badly.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. That's the first thing that pops up for me for sure. I think the Islanders and Boston are out. I don't think they have the assets to, number one, get a guy like Henrique, but number two, get additional retention so he fits in their cap. Because, I don't know. I feel like Boston has less picks than Toronto, and like that's a tough spot to be in. And the Islanders, because of previous years, their prospect pool is not necessarily the strongest, unless they're willing to throw like their first round pick. I don't even know if they have it this year, but unless they're willing to say throw their first round pick for Henrique, I feel like other teams probably have a stronger offer than what the Islanders could offer. They do have their first round pick this year, so I mean, if the Islanders' first round pick is in play, Isles could be a sneaky team. They need more offense. I don't think they actually probably do need the full 1.5 mil. Yeah, they do. So they need double retention, but they have their first round pick, and they have all their picks next year. So I think I could see the Isles doing it because that team does need more offense.
That's a very Lou move, eh? Getting a veteran like Adam Henrique.
Right? Yeah. So I think I could see the Islanders. Boston, I don't see it. Carolina, I don't know if they really need him. I think that
Carolina needs like an elite scorer though. That's what they need. They need an elite goal scorer.
Is that Henrique though?
No, it's not. Right?
It's not Henrique, but he's underrated, and I think the reason why I think Carolina's a good fit is because I think they're going to try and go all in. I mean, they got guys like Brent Burns and who else? Dmitry Orlov, that's who I'm thinking of as well. It just kind of seemed like in the free agency, they were going to be a team that was going to go all in. And I think when you get a guy like Henrique, who's been in a Stanley Cup final, I don't think he's won a Stanley Cup.
No.
I don't remember. But he's a very underrated player. I mean, he's a 20-goal scorer virtually almost every year, even at his current age. And they have the caps. They have $1.4 million in cap space left.
Oh, wow.
They have the picks to do it. They're only missing a fifth next year and a third the year after. So they have a Philly second as well. So I think they have enough assets to actually make that happen. And I think it could actually be a good fit. I mean, you got Jordan Staal on that team as well. So, like, maybe they don't need him as much as other teams, but I think they have enough to make it work and make it happen with double retention.
For sure. I do think there's a couple of guys on here. Like, the first name that comes to mind for me that I think that Carolina would probably put emphasis on is a guy they tried to get in free agency and almost got in free agency last year in Tarasenko before he went to Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
I think he fits that scoring mold really well for them. I'm not sure how his numbers are looking this year, but just like from a prototypical perspective, I think Tarasenko would make a lot of sense for them. I think Henrique would obviously be really good in their middle six. I just think that stylistically, in terms of what they need the most, I think it's probably lower on the totem pole for them.
Yeah.
And you're right. They could definitely afford him. They could definitely have the assets to get him. Like, they killed the draft last year. Like, McConnell in the third round. Mm-hmm. They always get the guys that the Twitterverse loves, but AHL teams just seem to pass on. Like, there's always like those where you go, wow, of course Carolina took him. New Jersey, again, like, I could see it, but I think their emphasis is shoring up the blue line.
Goaltending too.
Yeah, and the Rangers I just don't know, man. Like, I just never really believe in the Rangers, but he does seem like a guy that
my rant stays true from the Rangers back in preseason.
Yeah,
I don't know if Nick remembers. I just went on a huge rant about how shit the Rangers are, and I never believed in them. And
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
Number 5, we kind of touched on Chychrun already earlier on, but I mean, I don't know why Stales would want to trade him.
Oh, we skipped one. He didn't do Duclair. He's number 4.
Oh, well, sorry. I mean, what is there to say about Anthony Duclair though? Like, I mean, he's a middle 6 guy. You know, go to a contender. Like, I think Vegas would be a good fit for Duclair.
That would be a good fit, actually. You're right.
I agree.
Toronto, Edmonton, if they can't get like any top guys, like, you know, you trade away your 3rd round pick, bring in Anthony Duclair to play for skilled guys. That could be something. Yeah. Like, Duclair's like a guy where, you know, he will get traded, and like, honestly, he can go anywhere because I
He
mean,
fits every team. Every
Yeah.
team can use like a third line scorer.
yeah.
The secondary scorer. I do like the idea of him replacing Riley Smith basically for Vegas
hmm
when they lost him, when they had to lose him because of cap reasons to Pittsburgh. Riley Smith hasn't had a great year for you guys either, I don't think.
No, he's been kind of down the last little bit. He started off well, and it's kind of dripped off from there. So
Duclair's just mad. I'm surprised he's above Chychrun. But,
Well, talk about Chychrun. I mean, well, first the teams listed Washington, which kind of makes no sense. They should be rebuilding. Calgary doesn't really make any sense because they're selling. LA obviously tried to get him last deadline, but they got Gavrikov instead. St. Louis, I could kind of see, and Detroit still doesn't really make sense because he got a lot of good defenseman prospects coming up. You know, I just don't know where Chychrun would go this year.
Chychrun for Parayko, the deal is 1-for-1. Say
Like,
less.
could Pittsburgh be a fit? Could Pittsburgh be a fit?
maybe. I mean, it would improve our defense.
You
I
did that
just-
Ryan Graves the other way. That's
I'm just emotionally attached to Jake Guentzel. I don't want to see him go anywhere. But not saying they're going to trade him to Ottawa, but I don't really know what other assets we would have. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, I'd like him in Pittsburgh. I just don't know if it really makes sense for them right now,
Mm-hmm.
type thing.
Would you trade a first plus like a mid-round pick or Braden Yeager and a mid-round pick for him?
I'm not trading.
I don't know
Yeager
if
in that trade.
I don't know if I trade Jaeger. I don't even know if I trade it really depends on what year the first is. But if I were to trade a first, it'd probably be this year because I think we're going to drop off. But we'll see. I mean, I don't really want to trade a first, but
Honestly, I just can't see Ottawa fully recouping the value that they gave up to get Chychrun in the first place.
no.
Honestly, they should. I mean, if there's a defenseman they should trade, it should be Shabbat.
No,
I
don't
agree.
think I want Shabbat.
Huh?
This might be a hot take. I don't know if anybody wants Shabbat, man. I don't think he's that good anymore. Personally, I think he's a bit overpaid at $8 million. I don't know if there's a team that would really want him.
Yeah.
That is a pretty steep contract.
Number 6, Ryan kind of made a joke about him. Colton Parayko linked to
Please
Calgary
don't.
for some reason and Toronto, which would be so funny.
No, Trey, don't cook. Get out of the kitchen. Get out of the kitchen.
He's old. He's 30 years old. He has like 6 years left. At 6.5, he has back issues.
Bro, my team
Over to
has
Island.
played twice in the last 2 weeks, and nothing about him makes me go, you know what? That guy. I want that guy. My team is gonna be able to win the Stanley Cup if I have that guy.
Bro, he has
Matthew
beef.
Nyes just
He
deked
did
him
fall
out of
off.
his jockstrap 6 hours ago.
Bro, he's beefy. He's 6'6". Like 230 pounds.
Yeah, but he's fallen off. I mean,
I'd rather draft a 6'5", 6'4" dude in the first round this year than give my first round pick for this guy. And he's got a full no trade clause that he might not waive after we trade for him. Like, we trade for him, and then he still has a no trade clause, and he goes, I'm not waiving it. And we had to buy him out, and then we have like a $2 million dead cap for like 7 years late. Like 4 years from now, we have like another 7-year, $2 million cap hit per year.
I mean, you do have like
Buy this guy
50
out.
million on 4 players, so that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Toronto either. But I'd like to see it.
Please, no Trey, bro. Don't do
I
this
don't
to
think
me.
he'll get traded anyways.
I don't think so
I
either.
don't think so either.
It's number 7. Fuck, man. The Rangers are like, they should be like, I hate the Rangers. Like, why can you just develop a
Oh
guy?
my god.
Please
They're brutal.
develop your young kids. Like Capo Kako. I think Kako would be a great fit in Buffalo, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
Ooh, Middlestat and Kako swap?
No way they trade
Maybe.
Middlestat
I'm
for
surprised.
Kako, right?
I'm surprised to see Middlestat on here, but we'll get to that.
I mean, what do you trade Kako for though?
That's a good question. I look at a team like Anaheim. If he wants ice time and wants to prove
Zegras?
himself, I look at a team like Anaheim or maybe Minnesota. Minnesota is like, isn't this like the year where the Suter and Parise contracts kick in, like the buyouts?
Yeah.
Buyouts?
Well, I don't know how that's gonna work, but anyhow, yeah, I hate the Rangers. They can't fucking develop anyone. At least Lafreniere's kind of broken out a little bit.
A
But
little bit.
Yeah, true. But then they lost Hedel, and he might be
That's- yeah.
retired, though. Like it's almost like the Rangers can only have one promising forward prospect on the team at one time. But to be fair, Will Cooley's been pretty solid for
He's
them
been
this
okay,
year.
but he's been playing like fourth line though. That's not really helping him.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of maybe like a Kakko Zegras swap.
I was thinking about that too. I like you do like
Yeah.
what Kakko in a first and maybe something else for Trevor Zegras who wants out. Like
Right? Like that could work. Like give New York some more defined skill. And if you play Zegras with some better players and you play him in a situation where he's playing meaningful games, then maybe the attention to detail on the defensive end will pick up like just a little bit.
I don't think that's gonna happen, but
I'm trying to be. Look, I hate the Rangers as much as you guys. Okay, I just I'm trying to be optimistic on Rangers fans' behalf.
bro, I mean, what? How can you be optimistic as a Rangers fan? Igor Shesterkin's being outplayed by like 39-year-old Jonathan Quick.
That's great. That's not great.
But I mean, dude, I think I'm telling you right now, wherever Kakko goes, that's when he's gonna break out. Because the skill is there.
I do think there is a world where if Kakko doesn't get moved at this trade deadline, that he's the Alex Newhook for Montreal this year.
It's true. We could see him traded at like draft time, for example.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that picks up 2 late first round picks, from a contender, and they see him as a guy who's young, has upside, and they can kind of extend on like a cheaper deal to play a middle 6 role for them.
Yeah.
And then they see him as a guy where, hey, if you kind of play in our culture and our system, then you can be good. And for the Rangers, it'd just be recouping value that they can use in the future trade.
Yeah.
I could totally see Montreal even going for Kakko themselves.
I mean, they did it with Doc. They did it with Newhook, like you said.
And they did with Newhook, right?
They tried with Chychrun, didn't work though.
I think it's an option. I think it's definitely an option.
Kind of reminds me of Tolvanen as well. It was different with Tolvanen because he was waived, where he went to Seattle and then was like immediately good for like 20 games. He's kind of like he's still a pretty consistent player for Seattle. He's been better on Seattle than he was on Nashville, and maybe it just has to do with ice time. But sorry, Rossi.
Number 8, Leafs legend Alex Barabanov.
I don't even think. I think he just get benched today.
Did he?
Really?
I'm pretty sure he got benched like today.
Or like he got scratched, right?
Yeah, he got healthy scratch today.
I mean, like,
interesting.
I don't know what to think about Barabanov. Is this just a case where a guy's on a shitty team, he gets top 6 ice time, so he's just producing? Oh, he's been bad this year. Never mind.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
9
I swear
points.
he hasn't been good.
He had like a 50-point year the previous year though. That's weird.
Oof.
So the drop off is hard.
Yeah, it's wow. Ouch.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
on,
like,
he's on the 4th line. He's getting healthy scratched.
Teams
Like,
reported
he was playing 6 days ago. He was playing on the 2nd line with Eklund and Kunin. But
teams reported Edmonton, Colorado, Florida, Tampa Bay. I'm just gonna say Tampa Bay gets him because like that might just be like it won't cost them anything. I think they can fit him in cap wise, especially with the Sergachev LTIR space, right? So
he's like your Mikey I.E. Simon, eh?
Simon's actually good though. That's the thing. Like he has like
And
no
was
finishes.
actually good last year, and he's just not this year. So it might be them buying low, right?
Yeah, I mean they did the same thing with Jeannot, but
that did not work.
Yeah.
They
Just
should
less
always
up,
have
the better.
that guy.
yeah.
That's true.
9, Casey Middlestat kind of talked about him briefly. I mean, I don't know why Buffalo would trade him. I really don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Don't want to pay him. Maybe they just don't want to pay him.
I mean, you kind of have to. Your team is still shit for some reason. Like he's producing for you. Like you kind of want to keep that guy, no?
But it's weird because they're saying they want to move him for talent swap. So like, are they looking for a guy who's more cost controlled?
Are we thinking about a Middlestat Zegras swap here, maybe?
But Zegras is expensive. He's like 6.5. No on his extension. Like he's not even. It's not even like Zegras is like on like a 5-year deal at 4.5, and Middlestat's asking for 6. And so Buffalo was like, I don't know if I want to pay you 6, so let's just trade you for a guy we know is.
Yeah, he's also an RFA. That maybe has something to do with it too. You look at Buffalo real quick. Oh, they have $7 million in cap space, but Zakpozo. I mean, you still have Dylan Cousins and Tage Thompson. They've had some pretty down years, but I don't know why you would want to trade a guy like Middlestat at this stage. He's broken out now. Like,
Right.
and we can say that he's like a 50, 60 point guy. He hit 50 points
Yes.
last year. He's on pace to do better this year. I mean, pay the man. I wouldn't trade him at this stage. Pay the man. Whatever.
I honestly don't think he gets moved. And I think if anything, if they get to the off season and arbitration doesn't go, like they have to go to arbitration, and arbitration doesn't go as well as they imagine, then maybe he's like a Kako as well, where a team will get him during the draft. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if they're talking the off season before the draft and things aren't looking great and the numbers are just too far apart and they don't want to commit to him long term, then he's another guy like Kako that might get swapped at the draft for, you know, a first round pick or something.
I look at a team like maybe Washington. They need young centers. They need young players in that organization. I think Washington would be a decent fit for Middlestat if they were to trade him. I mean,
What would they give up,
he'd be
though,
the
for
bona fide
Tundra?
1C there, like without a question.
Who's a town for town swap though? If they were to do it,
Mantha's been in trade talks, but I don't know if he's going to be a fit for the Sabres.
Could I maybe you do McMichael for Middlestat, something like that?
Maybe, or like a LaPierre, if you'd prefer one or the other. Really
I'd say
depends.
Botas, but they just extended him, so I don't think they.
Yeah, he got like $3 million per year. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. Middlestat's a weird one. I'm not fully convinced he gets moved.
I wouldn't move him if I were the Sabres,
Yeah.
but it's the Sabres. I mean, who knows, man?
Uh,
The Sabres are a weird team.
Number 10, Jake Allen. Who, like, why would anyone want this guy to begin with? He's not good.
We thought this guy was a Colorado Avalanche like 5 days ago.
It's true.
They're like, oh, he's been traded, a big move, and then it was like, nope, psych.
I
He
mean,
was not moved.
Colorado's not even one of the teams linked here, which is kind of funny. I mean,
No.
like,
Yeah.
I could see New Jersey because they do need a goalie, but I don't know if he's that big of an upgrade on Vanacek.
That's what I mean.
You know,
Like
like,
Carolina, I can kind of see. Kind of depends on if Anderson's going to come back or not, because
Yeah.
their goaltending's been a little bit shoddy. Antti-Ranta's just been Antti-Ranta. But
and like, I don't
know,
even think
but-
Edmonton can afford a backup goalie at 3.85. You know, like if we're gonna
that's
get
true.
if we need a backup goalie, he needs to make like $2 million or less. And honestly, Cal Pickard has outplayed Jake Allen this season. So I would argue Edmonton's not really even making a goaltending upgrade. They're just kind of making a lateral move, if anything. And I mean, like, I'm just gonna say Colorado gets him because like they need a goalie, and they kind of need a good backup for Georgiev. And you know, I don't think it will cost them much. What like a third round pick, maybe a
I mean,
second.
Jake Allen is old. He's not good anymore.
Has he
like-
ever been good?
He's been
I
okay.
think St. Louis with Jake Allen was low-key not bad.
Yeah.
Wasn't Jake Allen in St. Louis?
No, he was good. He had a couple of good stretches. Yeah. He's been like a decent goalie.
I thought he
St.
was
Louis, he
young.
wasn't
I
bad.
thought he was younger than 33 though. Jesus Christ! I thought he was.
No,
like,
he's old now.
Nah, he an old head.
I remember him in the
Honestly,
World Juniors, and that was like 15 years ago now.
Montreal has this weird thing where they hold on to these veterans for too long. Like Josh Anderson got offered. You got offered a first round pick for Josh Anderson last year, and you're like,
Nah, bro.
you like Josh.
Nah, man.
You know, I'm gonna shut on the Habs even more here. Their media last season wouldn't shut the fuck up about Joel Edmondson getting a first round pick, and then he gets traded in the fucking offseason. He gets like a third round pick. Like, dude, the amount of glazing that the Montreal media does is insane.
It's
Yeah,
true.
but you made one good trade with Sharon. To be fair, the Monahan deal was pretty good too. But like I don't know, man. Like Jake Allen could have gotten you like a second round pick last year. I'm certain of it. He was actually decent last year. Like there was enough desperate teams that someone would have given you a second round pick for him, and you're like,
Nah,
let's
fuck
hold on
that.
to him. We want to trade him. Josh Anderson. The Isles were gonna give you a first round. Nah. Let me give you Romanov instead. I don't want to give you my 26-year-old underperforming, overpaid right winger. Let me give you my like 22-year-old defenseman who hasn't yet broken out. but has logged like 200 NHL games instead. Like, this doesn't even make sense. Montreal doesn't make sense. I hate that. I hate that team.
Number 11 is also a goalie. Jakob Markstrom is a very interesting one because
member of my fantasy team.
he's been carrying the Flames basically all season. Apparently, there was a deal close with New Jersey a few days ago or a week or so ago. Honestly, that's the guy New Jersey needs to go for.
I was gonna say that makes more sense than Jake Allen, 100%. That makes a ton more sense. Even in Carolina's perspective, it makes a ton more sense. It's just he's making a lot of money, $6 million.
Oh,
He's the same age as Jake Allen, though. That is a lot. So we'll see. Is he a free agent? I have no idea. He has a full no move clause, which is interesting.
I think he's got like 2 more years after this one.
He has, 2 more years left.
Okay, so you'd have to clear up a lot of cap space then to make that work. I don't know. We'll see. But New Jersey and Carolina makes a lot more sense for Markstrom than Jake Allen.
Yeah. 12, Sean Walker. Probably, I would say the second best rental right-hand D on the market.
Yeah, I think every contender should be after this guy, honestly.
I just don't know, because, like, the history of Walker isn't there. Like, he's had a really good year, and I would really like Sean Walker in the Oilers. But apparently, I think there was a report that came out today. He's looking for, like, $5 million free agency, which is way too much money to give to a guy that had one good year.
It's true.
And I don't know. I'd be wary about Sean Walker. Teams linked Toronto, Edmonton, Tampa, New Jersey, Colorado, Dallas. I feel like I'm saying the same 6 teams over and over again. I just don't know if he's worth a first-round pick, and that's what Philly's looking for.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of thinking of Toronto, but, like, I don't know. Like, it's a good point you make. If he's looking for that much money, like, you have to clear the cap space, and you'd have to, if you're going to trade a first. I mean, I don't know if Toronto's willing to do that, but
it doesn't make sense for us. It just doesn't, because
no.
Tavares' contract still being on the books for next year. You know, I don't think we can afford to allot $5 million.
I just think of a guy like Lyubushkin when he got him, and then you didn't retain him the very next year. I don't think he was making that much money, though, but it really just depends on if Toronto's looking to push, which they should be, because their core is ridiculous, and they just don't, and they don't have the cap space for it anymore. But
yeah,
we'll see.
I don't know. He might if Philly re-signs him, that'll be.
I don't think they're re-signing him, man. They got Drysdale on the right
Just
side.
got Drysdale.
Yeah,
I think it'd be funny though. The fact that they even discuss an extension is kind of jokes to me. Like, it should just be like, hey, we're gonna trade you. You've been great for us. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, like, if you want to come back in free agency so we can trade you again on a 1-year deal, like, we'll discuss it then, but you're not a long-term guy here. We're not.
Yeah. 13, another right-hand defenseman, Ilya Lyubushkin. Team's interested Toronto, which is kind of funny because he was in Toronto like 2 years ago. Pittsburgh, guess what, guys? Tampa Bay and Edmonton, and Boston. And you know what? I'm going to say he goes to Toronto because it'd be so funny. It'd be so funny.
It would be funny. I mean, he's a Boston player.
He is. He's a Tampa Bay player.
I don't mind Lyubushkin.
Huh?
I don't mind Lyubushkin.
You're trading a future second-round pick for Lyubushkin.
No.
Yes.
Hell no. If that's the cost, no. I'm willing to trade a third or a fourth for this guy.
Dude, you traded.
No, I don't. Wait, what am I talking about? I don't want this guy. No, wait. I just don't want him. Period. Because I'm thinking about it. Like, we have our bottom 4 for the blue line set: Benoit, McCabe, Brody, Liljegren. That's the those 4 have been so good for us. Those 2 deep pairings work. We just need someone to play with Morgan Riley.
Yeah, Lyubushkin's playing with Morgan Riley.
Play with Lyubushkin.
Lyubushkin has chemistry.
Look at the description. Even the 4th period says Lyubushkin is an affordable third-pair defenseman for contenders.
But
I am not playing him on a top pair with Morgan Riley.
But he played top pair 2 years ago, which means it works.
And it didn't work, because you know why? We didn't make it past the first round. It was not first pair. That was Brody. But he was still good on the right side.
You know what's gonna happen?
On the right side.
You know You know what's gonna happen? The Bruins are gonna pick up Labushkin, and then he scores the OT winner in Game 7 against you, and then you're gonna cry.
You know what, Shay? I hope the trade deadline passes. You don't trade for a goalie, and then the day after the trade deadline, Stuart Skinner like tears his ACL and is out.
Okay, let's not wish injury on anybody here. Come on.
You know what? I hope Stuart Skinner just turns into a punk.
This is just Leafs fan behavior that's going on. What is this?
I can't stop a beach ball. I'm Stuart Skinner. I'm just Mike Smith 2.0. 5.0 goals against average the rest of the season. And then Edmonton misses the playoffs. And then their first round pick was traded for like Jordan Eberle, and he's the next Connor Brown. Bro plays 35 games for the Oilers, scores 0 goals, and has 2 assists with a -10 rating. I hope that happens.
It's the most passion anyone's ever had towards Ilya Labushkin.
I do not want him. I've changed my mind. I
think he's going to Toronto.
No, please.
No. I'm in Pittsburgh.
14. We got Tarasenko.
What did we say earlier? Carolina.
Carolina.
That makes sense.
They're not even linked.
I think
No, they're not. The Colorado kind of makes sense, or Florida. I mean, they did acquire Claude Giroux.
Dude,
We'll see.
if Fleury gets Tarasenko, that team looks so good.
It does. It does. Wasn't Kachuk having a down year though? Is he?
No, he's back.
actually
He's fine now.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I remember because I tried to fleece a guy in my fantasy pool for him because he's like ranked like 375th in the league like a month and a half into the season, and the guy wouldn't budge.
I don't know where the Islanders are linked for so many of these guys. Like, I get it, they're in a playoff battle, but they've lost so many games. Like, even the OT games, they've lost 14. Like, how are you in a playoff?
Like they've won like 22 games, and like combined losses are like 33.
Like, I was watching that New York game, and I was like, oh, I may as well turn this off because the Islanders win. And no, they didn't.
No,
they
they
gave up a
fucking
fucking 4-1 lead. Like,
don't remind me, man. I got stroked on my fantasy team. The number of times I've gone to bed when the third period started and went, oh, that's a good goalie performance. And I wake up the next morning and the 4-1 lead into a 5-4 loss. His save percentage is an 839, and he has a 5 goals against average.
Like,
just
fuck.
kills me inside. Like, no. I hope the Islanders stink.
They do stink. What do you mean?
they suck, yeah.
I can't believe I took that guy with my second round pick.
15. Ryan mentioned him on his rant on the Oilers. Jordan Eberle. And man, I want him back. I miss him. I miss him so much.
You could have used him for the last 4 or 5 years if you didn't trade him.
I know.
But we won't get into that.
I know. But like,
I could see it.
I mean, we need a top 6 finisher. Specifically a right winger, which is what Eberle is. And I mean, we need clutch players in the playoffs, not named McDavid and Draisaitl. And I mean, Eberle has a history. I mean, his World Junior goals, his time with the Islanders, a bunch of OT goals. I know fans are gonna look at the fact that in 2017 he had like 2 points with us during that playoff run. I mean, yeah, he was shit that playoff run, but it was his first playoffs in Edmonton, and then he was shipped off for Ryan Strome, who was shipped off for Ryan Spooner, who was shipped off for Sam Gagner, who was shipped off for Athanasiou, who we let go for agency. That was I'm just depressing myself right now. Anyways, I miss Eberle. Please bring him back. Imagine Eberle lifting a Stanley Cup in Edmonton. It'd be beautiful. I'm delusional, I know, but
and before you guys trade a first round pick for Anthony Duclair and Toronto gets Eberle for a third.
Hey, he's linked with Toronto too. I mean,
hey, Duclair is top 4 on the trade list, and Eberle's all the way down here at 15. So, Ken Holland's going to look at this.
Duke is actually good, though. He had like a 30-goal year 2 years ago. He's actually good. He's just on the shitty Sharks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trading a first-round pick for Duclair, but, like, if it's like a third, sure, fuck it. I don't care.
he's just, like, always getting traded, that guy, too.
Duclair. Yeah, I know. He's, like, on his, 8th team right now?
Yeah, and, like, it's just weird. He's a good player.
Yeah, he just can't stay in one team. We'll rush a bit here. 6-teamers Lincoln. I don't think he gets dealt.
No.
He wants to leave though, from what I've heard. That was a little bit ago, but like, I think to be fair, anyone wants to leave Columbus. They're just not good ever. Like 1 year.
A team will take Merzlikins if you trade him year to pick. That's the only way he gets traded. I don't think a team will.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like he's very happy with the team either. So I mean,
they just fired Yarmo, so don't even really have a GM right now.
That's true.
About time, by the way. Like what? He was like the GM there like for 13 years.
Oh, he was there forever. He was there forever, and like that one run in 2019, sure, but they got spanked in the second round anyways. Like,
Yeah.
Why did we have to talk about 2019? Oh wait, no, 2019 was not. I'm thinking 2018. 2018 was the year we got whooped by the Jackets.
That was 2020, dumbass.
That was in the bubble.
Oh, true. I thought 2019.
Liam Foodie scored a goal.
Hey, that's my boy Liam Foodie. Don't respect Liam Foodie.
I'm not disrespecting Liam Foodie. He's a Knights legend. Why would I disrespect that guy?
That's my boy. I love Liam Foodie.
Frank Vatrano is number 17. Only making around 3.5 million for the next few years. I don't think he'll get traded, but I mean, he's on pace for 30 to 40 goals this season. And if he does get dealt, I think they can get a lot back for him.
Yeah, what did I say? Either Detroit or Colorado. I don't know. Why are the Islanders linked with everybody? The Islanders are on every fucking player. They're not good. Anyways, Detroit and Colorado, I think, makes the most sense. I think Colorado has the most assets for them, though, and they're pretty loaded, so we'll see. Detroit's that, like, sort of like an in-between team still. Like, they're just starting to get good, and they have a lot of prospects, but I don't know if they're willing to trade any of those prospects because, they're kind of a tweener team, but we'll see. Rangers kind of make sense, but didn't he play for the Rangers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean,
I think
a lot of, like,
played for them last
reunions
year.
here. Oh, yeah,
Or
I
was
think
that
you're right.
Strom?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think it was a trade deadline acquisition for the Rangers last year. So
Oh, interesting.
maybe but they couldn't afford him. I can't imagine they can afford him now. So Kako for
If
Machado?
they trade Kako, yeah, I mean, maybe there's a deal there. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd do that low key one for one if I'm both teams. Kako for Vetrano. Maybe throw in a little bit extra with Kako, but if I'm Anaheim, Kako's a very interesting.
I guess if you want to, like, if the Rangers want to contend, then that's a possible option they can do. Because I think Vetrano right now is a hell of a lot more valuable than Kako if you're in a playoff run, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially this year. And you get him for next year after that. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
All right. Next up is Alex Venberg from the Seattle Kraken.
He's a bit of a weird player. He was like, was he bought out by Columbus like a couple years ago?
He was
a weird player. I don't even know how he's doing. Let me look him up real quick. I couldn't tell you the first thing about Alexander Wenberg, to be honest with you.
He's playing first line center for them, I'm pretty sure.
Over Beniers?
That's pretty wild.
Because Seattle does the weird thing where they run like three lines and they balance out the three lines instead of top loading it. But I'm pretty sure the last time I checked their daily line combos, he was like between McCann and someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, he's having an okay year, but for $4.5 million, that's pretty steep.
So... Oh no, he's back on the second line. But Beniers is first line again.
Okay.
I can maybe see Boston just because, I mean, we looked at Boston at the beginning of the year and we were like, there's no way they're going to do good, and then they were good. So maybe they had Wenberg just get a little bit more center depth. We'll see, because like Pavel Zacha's your top center, so it's like, and he's been fine with he's been good at the Bruins, but maybe just a little more center depth. I mean, Porchois out for a while. He was doing okay with the Bruins. I mean, he's still young.
Awesome.
Yeah, so maybe there's a fit there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I see Colorado or Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Wenberg's just like a guy to me.
He's just a guy.
Just a guy.
2C, 3C. Retain half. Give him like a second round pick, maybe third round pick. Just run with it.
Like if he can go back to the early Columbus days, then that'd be ideal. But I don't see it happening at this point. He's had a lot of injury issues as well, so we'll see.
Number 19, David Savard. I'm surprised Habs media has not jerked off about him getting a first round pick.
Sure.
I mean,
what's that in French? Should I look that up?
Sure. Teams reported, guys, guess what? Toronto, Tampa Bay, Dallas, Edmonton.
It's the same.
He's going to Dallas.
It's the same 4 teams looking for a right-hand defenseman.
He's going to Dallas. Don't they have Ryan Suter still?
They do.
He's going to Dallas. just for that reason alone. The fact they're willing to trade for him, they're probably going to be willing to trade for David Savard as well. Not that he's bad. He's just an older defenseman that has cap, and for some reason they can afford, right? Like,
They do love those guys.
He's a Leaf.
No.
jerk off in French is "c'est branlé."
Say ballet.
Say ballet.
I can't believe I just
Look,
googled that and it wasn't an incognito. That's just going to be in my
Montreal
history.
can give us Jesse Yolonen and David Savard for a 5th round pick and 50% retain on Savard, and that'll take him. Otherwise, he can stay far away from my team.
I don't know. He must be in Toronto quite a bit. I mean, he's only like down the road.
That's what I was saying.
No.
He probably lives in Montreal, dude.
You good. You can stay there. He can stay in Montreal.
Well,
He doesn't need,
probably they want to trade him, so I don't know. You might be getting David Savard, dude.
Number 20, Scott Lawton.
No.
The first two teams are going to sound very familiar.
Why?
Toronto, Edmonton, and then Buffalo, Colorado.
No.
I can see him
I don't want him. No.
Why?
Do you just want nobody?
Look,
What's wrong
like
with
I
Scott
said,
Lawton?
Look. All my wish list this year for the Leafs is very short. Give me a 27-year-old number 1 right D. That's it. That's the only thing on my list. I don't want Scott Lawton. I don't want Chris Tanev. I don't want some overrated plug that will cost us a first round pick. They want a
I
first
would
round
take
pick.
Scott Lawton. I would take Scott Lawton on the Penguins, a guy that can score somewhat and can hit, play the gritty game.
Great, you can have him.
Okay, then maybe we'll take him.
Sold to the gentleman in black and white.
Sold. He's better than like all of our bottom 6 right now. So like whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'll take him on the 3rd line over
What,
Jeff
JP's
Carter.
not
Thanks.
doing it for you guys? Mr.
No.
Mr. Cardio Man isn't doing it?
No, no one's doing it.
Such a Dubas pickup, bro. And Matthew Phillips. Dubas loves his cardio.
I mean, I liked Matthew Phillips for a long time, so I'm happy to see him with the Penguins. But
yeah, but
it is a Dubas pickup.
it's such a like it's either an undersized skill guy with like some underrated snarl, or it's a cardio merchant that does nothing but skate really fast. Like those are Dubas's like little darlings. Got Engvall, Kapanen, Mikheyev. Loki, we did that this year with Gregor, but that's not.
Oh, thank God we don't have Kapanen anymore. Can you imagine? You probably give him like $6 million.
Yeah, no. Lawton's a fine player. I think he'd be a 3C. The thing is with us is unless you're swapping him for Domi, like he's gonna be like a 4C for us. Like he's just like a more expensive cap. You know, like I just don't see where he fits because I think Bobby McMahon has played well enough that he can be a 3rd line guy for us. And then I like Nick Robertson in the top 6. I like that Bertuzzi Domi Nylander line. That line in the last 2 games have really worked and they really gel. I like Tavares with McMahon and Robertson, 2 speedier guys. McMahon's a power forward type. Robertson's a finisher, right? And then the first line with Nyes, Matthews, Marner. Like, I mean, a guy like Lawton would be nice, but like I said, I'd rather not trade a 1st round pick for him, and that's what the Flyers want.
That is what the Flyers want. I just read that. I don't want to trade a 1st round pick for him either.
Yeah,
but I do want him. I would take him the Penguins still.
And he's fallen off this year. I think last year I would have killed for Scott Lawton, but this year he's not been as good. It's been a bit of a down year, and they still want a 1st for him.
I don't think he'll get a 1st round. He's still only making $3 million. Well, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's not that bad of a contract, but if he continues to decline, then it will be.
You're talking to a guy whose team paid David Camp 2.4 and actually defended that.
You defended it so much.
Yeah, that defended that contract. And to be fair, he actually played really well today. He had some jump to him, and he's got some chemistry with Holmberg and Reeves, but
Yeah, not good.
overpaid. I was wrong.
Number,
How was I supposed to know the guy that was our best defensive forward the last 3 years was suddenly just going to turn into a pumpkin?
Number 21, we got Mike Hoffman.
He's not.
I don't know.
He's getting bought out.
Yeah.
He has 1 year left. No, isn't this last year?
Yeah, like they're gonna
Okay.
like, get on.
Let him go to free agency then. I mean,
Yeah, like no one's gonna want him. No one's gonna trade anything for him, and San Jose's gonna buy him out, and he's gonna sign with the team in free agency. I don't know.
No, like, but isn't
Like-
isn't he a UFA though? Does it?
I don't know. Like I don't know how the thing works. Cause like, for example, in the NBA, like you can buy out a player and then he can sign with the team right away. I don't know if you're allowed to do that in the NHL. But like if you are, like I'm saying, San Jose might just like buy him out because they don't have to pay anybody anyways, and it gives him an opportunity to sign with a contender. I just don't think he's very good anymore. I don't think the team wants him.
No, I think ever since he left Ottawa, he's been. I mean, he had a couple good years with Florida, but
Yeah.
I think ever since he left Ottawa, it's been kind of a steady decline. So I don't think anyone's gonna want him. I mean, I could see, I guess, a contender trading for him, but I wouldn't, because he's been bad this year too. Oh my lord, he's not been good at all. So yeah, I think they're just gonna let him go.
Next, Joel Edmondson. Leaf.
And he's going to the Leafs. He's a left. He's a right D. He could play with Riley. He's making $1 million.
If this guy is the guy,
He's
is
perfect.
If this guy is Morgan Riley's defense partner,
This is
on
who you
game
want.
On
This is
game one of the playoffs, I kid you not, I'm not watching the
You
playoffs.
have
this year.
raving about wanting him to.
If I have to watch Morgan
Riley.
Riley play with Joel Edmondson, I'm not watching the playoffs this year. I'm not.
Who do you
What do you
want?
mean?
Kel?
He has
You
cup
have-
experience, bro.
No.
Listen,
no.
everybody wants Cale Makar. You can't have Cale Makar. I'm sorry, you're getting Joel Edmondson, dude.
Bro,
That's just how.
Bro, I would like I said, I'd rather trade for Jakob Chychrun. I'd rather pay a first, Vinton, and at Naples a third, and a fifth, and a seventh, and an eighth, and a ninth, and a tenth.
Yeah, those don't exist.
Yeah, so future considerations for Jakob Chychrun, then trade a third round pick for Joel Edmondson. It doesn't move
It's
the
not.
needle. I'd rather have the pick. Like, I don't
Bro,
want
he's a cup winner,
have-
man. Respect him.
You have Bradshaw living. You got to lower your expectations. You're gonna get Joel Edmondson, dude.
Man,
perfect.
Honestly, I think Trey, unless he can get TANEV for cheap, I think he might stand pat this year. And I don't hate that.
Bro, Matthews is gonna score 70 goals. You can't stand pat.
I don't give a shit.
You're
This
wasting
is
one
what-
of the
this is what
best
I hate-
seasons.
this is
You're
what I hate
wasting
about the
one of the
college-
best goal
what I
scoring
hate-
seasons we've ever seen.
Earn it then. Earn it then. I'm sick and tired of this thing where it's like, if you're the general manager of a team that has Stanley Cup aspirations, you have to go and buy and spend like your first round pick and your second round pick on a fucking dude that will play for you for 3 months, right? Look at what Tampa did. Tampa, pretty much they got more than 1 year for every single one of their deadline acquisitions where they had to give up a first round pick or a meaningful asset. Colorado, multiple years for the guys that they bought on, right? Vegas, the guys that they brought in, again, term. They have Barbashev, they extended, right? Like all these guys they brought back or they trade for with term. Toronto's like the only team I can think of where every year we give up our first and second round pick for a bunch of guys, and then they leave the next season. The only guy we have from like our 4 first round picks, 3 second round picks, and 16 prospects.
Everyone's gonna
It's
leave
the
next
thing.
season because you have 5 players making $11 million. Your depth is gonna be a revolving door. That's just how it works with Toronto now. Like,
And
if
what
you
I'm
trade
saying-
Marner, then maybe. But I mean, I guess if Tavares' contract expires soon.
And all I'm saying is, if you have 4 guys making $11 million, those
Five.
are the guys that are going to take you to the Stanley Cup final at the end of the day, because they are taking up 60% of your salary cap. Joel Edmondson is not the difference between the Toronto Maple Leafs making it to the Stanley Cup finals and losing in the first round again. That's my point. Like,
How many
he's
times
not
are you
gonna be
gonna
the
punch your table?
he's not going to be the difference. He's not the difference. And I'm tired of this team trading away valuable assets. We don't have a single defense prospect in our system outside of Topi Niemela, who we drafted 3 years ago. Because every year we trade our first round pick. Every year. Look,
And they always
For
turn out to be
what?
really good. So
for once, I just want our general manager to look at this team and go, boys, there are no reinforcements coming. The guys in this locker room is all that you get. And you guys better figure it the fuck out. Because holy shit, it's been too many years to not have made at least one Eastern Conference Finals. You want to talk about waste this year of the Austin Matthews era? How many Austin Matthews won the Hart 2 years ago, and we didn't make it to the second round.
To be fair, you outplayed Tampa that year. Deserved to win.
We deserved to win, but we didn't do it, and that's what I mean. Like last year, we gave our first round pick, a second round pick, another first round pick. We traded for Ryan O'Reilly, we traded for Nolan Chari, Luke Shen, fucking Jake McKay, Sam Lafferty. We were the most active team at the trade deadline that year, and all I got us was one extra win. We won two extra wins. We got 2 more wins than we did the previous 5 years of playoff contention.
All right, so Marc-Andre Fleury's the next goaltender here, and I think he's going to go to the Leafs for sure. I mean, he wants to chase a cup. So.
Also, on that topic, it's not like
I think he's winning.
You know what the thing no one talks about? Toronto really did not play well against Tampa last year, so 2023. There's a lot of late goal comebacks in that series. I mean,
we fluked our way. Like Morgan Riley and Ilya Samsonov bailed our asses out that series. I'm not gonna lie. Like we low-key did
Riley
not
was
deserve
unreal.
to the second round. We low-key did not deserve it. Like I'm just like I'll take it. Like we got like no now we don't get haven't won a playoff round since 2002. I'm just glad that we got that out of the way. But like realistically, we didn't deserve to win that series. We were not the better team that year. And so this is what I mean. Like I hate trading guys for pure rentals. Like if we're gonna bring in a guy, if we're gonna bring in a guy as a rental, I'm okay if it's a guy like HANIFIN, right? A true difference maker. If he walks, but he might be the difference between a first round exit and an Eastern Conference Finals or Stanley Cup appearance, right? I don't want to give up a second round pick for fucking Ilya Lyubushkin. Motherfucker, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? Like, oh my gosh, we have Ilya Lyubushkin.
I just gave you a solution for Joel Edmondson. You're not listening. You're not taking it.
He's trash too.
He's making $1 million. Oh my god.
All right, Fleury, where's he going?
Toronto.
No.
Probably not.
I can see Colorado.
No, I could also see Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado should.
Basically, any team that needs a fucking goalie.
Barons, Gueyev, and Callum Ritchie for Marc-Andre Fleury. It's happening.
All right, let's calm down here.
24, Victor Olofsson, which is interesting.
Whatever happened to this guy?
He's still good, right? I think.
He's like this is what I envision like Cole Eiserman could be if he doesn't get the rest of his game together. Like you laugh at it, but tell me I'm wrong.
No, I'm not.
35, like a 25 to 35 goal scorer, but doesn't do anything else. Like literally nothing else. Like, that's what Olofsson is. Bro just stands in the corner and shoots the puck. And he scores.
Oh wow, he's been bad this year. 4 goals, 12 points.
I'm talking like prime Olofsson though, like before he became crap, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't know if Colorado should make that trade. I don't know if anyone should make that trade.
he's kind of mad this year. Buffalo's been kind of mad this year, to be fair. I think he was pretty good last year for them though.
No, he was good last year. 25, Tyson Barrie, Tampa, Dallas.
Oh, right D.
He's a Leaf. We're going back to Toronto.
I'm gonna kill you guys. No. Bro, I hope Tampa trades for him. Oh my god. That Tyson Barrie behind the net turns it over. Morgan Riley scores.
Nah, it's never gonna happen.
I can't wait for that, bro. I hope.
Why would he turn the puck over to Morgan Riley?
Bro, Morgan's gonna go on one of those playoff expeditions where he's for some reason behind the net, and it just works. What made Morgan Riley so great last year in the playoffs was his willingness to jump up into the play, and trust that a forward will cover for him. So, but he's gonna turn it over to Austin Matthews, who's gonna find Morgan Riley in the slot. And then Morgan Riley is going to deke Vasi out of his jock strap and then tuck it into the.
That's assuming that you play Toronto. That's assuming you play Tampa in the playoffs.
And then Hedman's going to come in and cross-check Morgan Riley in the head and then get suspended 5 games for the next season.
Yeah, that's not how it works, though.
All right. My fault. I forgot. Hedman doesn't wear a maple leaf on his chest, so he's going to get a $5,000 fine.
Yeah, exactly. But realistically, where does Barry fit in the league? Because like he needs to be in a place where he needs to get PP one time, and that's not Tampa, and that's definitely not Dallas. Like Chicago, maybe.
Why would Chicago want him?
Maybe.
I don't know. Like
Maybe?
it's not gonna. It's not like it's gonna cost Chicago anything.
I mean, our power play is pretty bad, but that's just because of Todd Reardon. Like, just fire Reardon and we'll be fine.
Like
Don't acquire Barry.
like maybe St. Louis.
Because if you think he's more dynamic than a guy like Krug.
Yeah.
Then you put him on power play 1 instead of Krug.
Yeah.
What's Arizona's cap hit? Probably a lot.
But Dursey, do you think they played him over Dursey?
That's a good point.
Like
Because Dursey's been real good for them this year on the power play.
That's
Florida. Like maybe it's like
Maybe.
But Montour's having a down year, but that power play is clicking this year. Isn't it the number 1 power play?
You know
in the
what?
league
I
right
know who the fuck it is.
now? Oh,
The
God.
Islanders.
Oh, that could totally.
And
Mm.
Patrick
With
Waugh
Dobson,
and Barry are
they-
reunited.
Like they run a 2-man power play 1
Yeah.
with Dobson.
Yeah.
You got Barzell, Nelson,
Yeah.
Horvat, Barry.
I can see the Islanders.
I could see that. I could actually see that. Would he fit over anyone currently on their roster though? 5-on-5.
He can play the
I
Pellet.
gotta look.
He can play the
Like,
Pellet.
is he gonna play over Pulak, Dobson, and Mayfield?
That's true. They
on
already
the
have 3
right- on
righties.
the left side? They got 3 righties that they're paying a lot of money already.
Man,
Maybe
I don't know.
like
I mean, could maybe Anaheim? Like for like a year or two thing?
They
Patrick
can
Stats?
afford him. They could afford him. They have a lot of young D-men, though. I mean, maybe for a year.
That's what I
If
was
they-
thinking. Like, could you like? Honestly, I think St. Louis might be an interesting team.
The Penguins
They got
hope
Carlson
not.
though, and Letang.
run a 2-man.
Could you
Right,
see?
Okay, will you
Wait,
will you
wait,
tell that
the
to fucking
Sharks?
Todd Reardon and then you'll see what he thinks, because that doesn't cook up shit.
How about the Sharks?
Sharks, I mean, sure, if they think that, but he's an expiring UFA, no?
Yeah.
So it's not you wouldn't get. I guess if you're the Sharks and you extend him to a 1-year deal after, if he plays well in your power play 1, and then you try to inflate his value and then trade him at the deadline next year.
Exactly. He can do that.
Buffalo? Nah, but they got Darlene and Power.
I can't believe we're going this in depth
Yeah,
for Tyson fucking Berry.
No, because it's intriguing.
It
I don't
is.
know where he would. I don't know where he would fit. Washington?
Over Carlson? John Carlson?
I mean, they could run a 2-man, a 2D man.
What? I mean, like, could
Because who else
Columbus?
do they have up front? They got Ovi, Strome,
That's about it. That team's not good.
right? They'd probably be able to find him a spot on the power play 1 and just take a forward out.
I think the San Jose ones and the Islanders one are the two intriguing ones. Because, like, if the Islanders want more
You mean the
offense,
Blues
if
one?
the
You
Islanders
mean the
want more
Blues one?
offense, well, there's your guy.
But who are you sitting from if you're the Isles?
You know what? I think would be kind of cool to see if you can try Barry at forward. Because you're not gonna get any defensive play out of him.
Oh, I have a team.
Oh fuck, who?
This team brought in John Klingberg last year for their playoff run because they needed more
Minnesota?
offensive creation from the back end. Minnesota.
Oh, that could be something.
That could be something.
Because who do they have on their power play right now? Spurgeon's out for the year, and he was running power play 1 for
Faber?
them. I don't know if they trust Faber on power play 1 yet. I don't know. They've tried early in the season. I know this because I had Spurgeon and Boldy and Hartman on my fantasy team at one point. They were trying 5 forwards on the power play
Oh, you're
At
right.
one
Oh
point,
yeah,
no.
Barry to Minnesota makes some sense.
because their entire blue line is just defensive guys right now. Besides Faber,
Right. I mean, that's actually a good idea. That's a good point.
yeah, I think Minnesota could be a team.
26.
Yeah, not a lot.
26. We got John Gibson. I don't.
I'm so sick. Just I'm so sick of seeing his name on trade rumors because he's like, it's been like a
Never
decade,
gets
bro.
moved. This is like what happened like the last 2 years with the Raptors. Like, we're gonna trade Pascal and OG, and then they didn't trade Pascal or OG. No, it was OG, not Pascal. The last like 4 years, they've been talking about trading OG and Anunoby, and then they didn't trade him until this year. We've been listening to John Gibson like on the trade block for like 5 years now. At this point, I'll talk about it when it happens. Until then, don't bring that name up to me.
All right.
I don't care.
All right.
He's not getting moved.
27, Rasmus versus Lina. Teams linked Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto.
Oh, he's going to
He's not being
Toronto.
traded,
He was
though.
linked to
He's not being
Toronto like
traded,
2
though.
months ago. Come
Yeah,
on.
but he just had like an injury that's gonna take him out for like a month.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's still gonna be.
Robert Island.
He can play after the deadline though. He's gonna be back after the deadline. He's a Leaf.
Yeah, but I think DeMarco said though that he doesn't think that the Flyers are gonna trade him anymore because of the injury.
Boo.
So I think he's like a moot point.
I know right now you're not showing it, but you're really happy that he's injured because you knew damn well he was gonna be a Leaf.
Shay, you know me. I would never root for an injury of a player. I would never root for that.
Didn't you just say like an hour ago? Oh, Stuart Skinner's gonna tear his ACL.
I would never do such a thing. I don't know what that impression, but I would never wish harm on a player.
Shay, are you going to be editing this? Because I think you should amplify when he says that Stuart Skinner is going to tear his ACL. Dude, that is peak Leafs behavior, dude. Come on.
I don't know if you saw the video going on Twitter, but like there was this guy that threw like this other Leaf fan's hat.
Oh, I saw that. What a dick. I heard the guy got his hat back though, so that's good news.
That's good.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
28, another right-hand defenseman. My God, Adam Bockwist. For some reason,
nice legend.
For some reason, Edmonton and Calgary are linked. I don't know why Edmonton.
I wouldn't hate him with Nurse, to be honest.
Yeah, but
kind of makes sense.
That's more of a lateral move, though. No, we need an upgrade on season, not a guy that might be slightly better. You know,
Calgary might be. Kind of makes sense just because he needs to break out and he's not doing it at Columbus, and I don't think the trade value is gonna be very high.
No,
I don't think he'll have to give up much.
Yeah,
and he's only making 2.6, young defenseman. I just don't mind Calgary. That makes sense, especially if they trade HANIFIN, if they trade TANEV, there's gonna be room for him.
No, that's actually I can see that.
I could definitely see that.
And Uyghur is righty, but I think he plays on the left.
He can play left side, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could go Uyghur, Bachfist, Shillington, Anderson.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Give Bachfist a shot. If it doesn't work out, he's only making 2.6.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If he does work out, then Calgary gets another blue liner that fits their timeline better.
Yep. I think it'd be cool to see him, like, I think in London, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, because you'll know more than me. But Bouchard and did Bouchard and Bockwist ever play together? I know they're two righties, but I swear there's some times where they play together. I
don't know off the top of my head. Maybe on the power play, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I honestly don't remember.
All right.
I bet I can look up that team though. I don't know, just for fun.
All right. 29, we got another young player, Jonathan Bergeron, which I don't know why the Wings would trade in the first place.
It's pretty random. It's a pretty random player.
Montreal, Ottawa, Anaheim, Arizona. Finally, some new teams involved here. I don't know. I don't really care.
I mean, honestly, my pick is actually the Oilers. I think you just swap them with Broberg.
I don't think they're trading Broberg, though. I think because me and you have had this discussion before, Ryan, and I think Holland actually confirmed it like a week or so ago, or one of the insiders, that Broberg's going to get a full-time spot next year. So they're trading Kulak in the offseason.
Yeah,
and the only way they're going to trade Broberg is if they get like not a rental in return, which I don't think they're going to trade away Broberg this deadline. Unless it's an offer that they can't refuse.
Yeah, okay.
But I guess I can see Montreal. I mean, they love their young players. I don't know. Like, I don't even know why they would trade Bergeron in the first place.
His ELC, maybe they don't want to give him an extension, or maybe they think that he... It's like kind of like what Toronto does a lot with some of their players. They did with Frankie Corrado a couple years ago. where they just trade a guy because they don't see a future for him in their organization, but they just want to give him an opportunity elsewhere. I think that's where it comes down to. They like him as a player, but they just don't think that he's going to be a viable guy for them in the future.
So Lucas Raymond is also an RFA next year. Oh, but I think he already has... No, never mind.
No extension, right?
Yeah, Lucas Raymond. Yeah, he's an RFA next year as well. So I guess if you had to pick one, you're going to obviously pick Raymond.
Yeah.
But...
All right. The fourth period also has some bubble players. So we'll quickly touch on them. First player, Tony DeAngelo. Jesus Christ. How has Tony DeAngelo been this year?
I couldn't tell you.
Played this year?
He's played 24 games.
He's played.
9 points.
The KHL you go.
You know what? Hey, we're talking about options for Barry. Though we can use those same exact teams for Tony D.
Yeah, but
not Pittsburgh.
I think he goes to Pittsburgh, man.
I had a tweet a while ago when he was traded to the Blues that I'm surprised he would play for the Blues because he only likes the whites, but he never actually played for the Blues. So
Morgan Frost is another player that they have listed, which
I don't think he's
interesting former first-round pick.
Jake Guentzel.
Oh, now you want a $2 million player in the league? You got Scott Lawton.
I think Frost is better than Lawton.
I think Lawton fits the bottom six role better than Frost. Frost is a skill guy, and Toronto loves their skill guys. But
yeah, I love my skill guys. To give me more,
I like my skill guys
play
too.
him on the second line.
Jake Guentzel. I honestly,
no fuck.
I think Guentzel extends in Pittsburgh. I honestly think he'll extend.
I'm attached to Guentzel a little bit. I mean, I don't really want to see him leave. I don't think we're going to get really good enough assets for him, to be honest with you. By what I've seen, I don't think it's going to be worth it to trade him.
I think Dubas is going to do what Dubas does, and he's going to give him 10 by 8.
Well, I think he's going to squeeze as much as he can out of this core. He's going to, you know what I mean? And if that includes extending Guentzel, then he extends Guentzel.
I think he'll stay. I think that's Crosby.
It's looking like he'll stay.
That's Crosby's guy, man. That's Sid's guy.
It's true. Yeah. It really is.
He's gonna get paid. They're gonna give him 10 by 8, and it's gonna suck in the last 2 years of the deal or whenever Crosby retires. But you gotta do it. You gotta do it because you got Carlson, you got Crosby, you got Letang. You've paid all of them with term. You extended Jari. You went and got Ryan Graves.
The Graves one's so bad.
Yeah. But this is your team. You have to go for it. And if knowing Dubas, if he's not gonna trade Guentzel, he would rather overpay Guentzel than let Guentzel leave for nothing, right? So
yeah.
I think he's gonna get paid. I think he's gonna get anywhere from 9.75 to 10.25, and then he's gonna be on Sid's wing until Sid retires.
I mean, Sid can play for another.
Guentzel got hurt as well, so I don't know. I don't think he's back, but he got hurt, and that kind of I think died down a lot of those trade talks. So
I mean, to be fair, Sid could play for another 8 years if he wants to.
He could, and he'd be damn good. I think people. It's kind of funny to say he's underrated, but I think people are underrating Crosby still. He's 37, and he's still.
I draft Crosby every year in fantasy without fail because he always falls. Because everyone's like, it's Sid. He's so old. He's gonna fall off. I go, no. Every year, third round pick. Every year, third round pick. No matter what, I take him.
A player like Sid doesn't fall off.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real.
The other player here, Eric Johnson, right hand D. Leave.
No,
Leaves. Dude, that's why.
He's won a cup.
Are you kidding me?
Bad this year. Have you looked at his stats?
Who cares about the stats? He's a stay-at-home defenseman. He'd be perfect for Riley on the right side.
He
what are you
sucks.
talking about?
Slow and he
No, he's
now.
not. This guy's a first overall pick.
I hate you so much.
You're not getting Chychrun, man.
The bro can't skate. He's made out of glass. He's playing like crap this year for Buffalo. Please, he's 35, man. He's 35. He's not good.
I like Eric Johnson.
Next up, Torrey Krug. So if they do trade Krug, I mean, hey, Tyson Barrie. We already talked about him.
There you go.
Yeah, I think it'd be like some kind of swap like that.
Yeah.
Change of scenery, less expensive. It will kick back the other way.
Anthony Manfa up next. He's actually having a pretty good year this year.
Matt
Is he
Watt.
really fell off?
See. And you know what? Screw Anthony Mantha. No one cares about Anthony Mantha. You see that guy right there? After Anthony Mantha? That's the kind of guy I want.
Well, he's coming to
him.
Matt Roy. Dude, it's gonna cost you like 2 first-round picks for Matt Roy.
No shot. No shot.
He's fucking awesome.
No shot. He gets more than Chychrun.
Okay, probably.
You telling me he's gonna cost more than Chychrun? As an
You know what I mean.
The center market's screwed.
Chychrun had 4 years on his deal.
Oh, it's Matt Ray. Whoops.
There's no shot he takes 2 first-round picks, bro.
No, I'm kidding, but like, I mean, an extension is gonna cost you like $6 million at least.
I'm fine with that. Honestly, Matt Roy.
No, I know. I love Matt Roy. I've seen Matt Roy play like 30 games in the past 2 years because of all the Edmonton LA shit. He's damn good, but like Nick has said, dude, you have $55 million tied up in cap in the next few years. Like, that's not. Also, remember, you have to extend Marner. He's gonna get like $14 million because he's a bitch.
No shot. If Marner gets 14 million, I'm actually quitting. I'm not watching these.
You said the same thing about Nylander, and you're still here.
Okay, but Nylander did not get paid. Did not get paid $14 million. Okay.
Bro, before the season started, I remember before the season started, we had this conversation in the group chat. You're like, if Nylander's extension got $11 million, you'd be done.
Look. If you look at the guys that are coming up for the Leafs next year, the Leafs are not going to spend as much up front because of the extensions that they gave. Like, Bertuzzi is either going to take a discount or leave in free agency where there's a team that will give him the opportunity to play big minutes and rebound, right?
Yeah.
Easton Cowan or Fraser Minton will be a Leaf next year. That's a $4 to $5 million saving right there. TJ Brody is taking a discount. He's not going to get paid $5 million next year. He's probably going to go from 5 to 2 to 2.5, right? Just because he's a good third pair lefty, maybe second pair lefty, right? That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna come and he's gonna resign. He's gonna be cheaper, right? So realistically, right there, those are the savings for Matt Roy, and no one needs a raise yet. Like for that cap year, right? Mara needs an extension the year after, but then JT's cap hit is gonna tank because I love JT, but he's regressing. He's playing like a third liner, low key now, like a really good third liner, and maybe like a below average second liner, but. Like, the more he plays this year, the more I'm convinced that JT is going to re-sign for, like, $3 million.
He's not getting $3 million. That's copium.
3 to 3.5. No, I'm being dead.
He's getting 5. He's getting 5 and 5.5.
No. He's going to get 3 to 3.5. Like, I'm not even kidding.
You know what?
Trust me, Shane.
You know what? When Tavares signs his extension, when he signs his extension, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to pull up this audio clip and say, "I told you so."
Okay, do it. I'm being right. John Tavares is not getting more than $4 million from the Leafs on his next deal. It's gonna be 3 or 3.5.
I hope
what was he making in New York, like 6?
He's not gonna make more than 4. He's not gonna make more than 4.
I hope you know that. I hope you know that Trey Living loves to overpay his guys, though.
I know that, but John Tavares is gonna go in there and go, "Hey, we haven't won a damn cup because all the 24."
So like, wouldn't he want to leave?
How many times are you gonna punch your fucking table?
He's gonna be like, "No, I'm not. I am a leader. I'm a captain of Toronto Maple Leafs. I made over like $90 million in my entire career before tax. I don't even pay tax. Screw the CRA. I'm gonna take a discount." That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, okay. So with the whole CRA thing, wouldn't that make it more likely he leaves Toronto?
He's gonna win the case.
I don't think so. You know what's gonna happen? He's
He's
signing a 1-year, $3 million deal in Dallas or Tampa Bay, or Florida.
No shot.
Yeah.
And then the third round,
Why wouldn't he? He can win a cup in Dallas.
or in Florida.
For next year, we can 100% fit Matt Roy in at around 5.
Okay, all right, okay, bud.
So I'll trade a first round pick for him. That's who I want.
Okay.
Him or Forsland. That's what.
Next player up, Riley Smith,
Yeah, we'll see.
Ottawa, because they're stupid.
Maybe.
That's a very Ottawa player, though. That's exactly the type of
I
player.
know, it's true. You're right.
They love their
Stales
second
says
liner.
he wants a veteran. That's a fucking veteran right there. Isn't he from Ottawa?
Riley Smith.
I'm pretty sure he's American, isn't he not?
Yeah,
He's
Riley
from.
Smith's America,
He's
I
from.
swear.
I don't know how to say Toronto,
Oh, he's
Ontario
Canadian.
cities. Etobicoke, Toronto.
Etobicoke?
I've never known how to pronounce that either.
This bro said Etobicoke?
Bro, I don't live in fucking Ontario.
It's Tobico.
I used to call it Edibok, to be honest with you, because I just didn't know how to pronounce it.
It's Tobico. It's Tobico.
Okay.
All right.
K
All right.
is
Well,
In the
why
last
did you have a K in there?
in the last player is a guy we've been actually kind of talking about this entire podcast, Trevor Zegras.
Man, he's had issues this year. I think he's had an injury, but the
He's
more
had a
I
few injuries, yeah.
think about it,
He missed the start of the
Yeah.
year, yeah.
Dude,
I drafted him in fantasy, and then I dropped him after 3 weeks.
dude, him and Verbeek apparently fucking hate each other.
really, I don't know about that.
And then like he's not getting really any ice time under Cronin when he does play. So
Oof, man,
I'm gonna say this:
just
if
the
they
drop
trade-
off he's had already.
If they trade Zegras, I think they take Lindstrom at their pick in the first round.
oh, 100%, I agree.
If they trade Zegras, I think Lindstrom's their guy. This is early on.
Oh yeah, 100%, I agree.
It's between Lindstrom and Levshunov right now for me for Anaheim because they
They have so many good D though already.
Yeah, but if they trade Zegras, I think it's Lindstrom.
Or
Catton.
Catton. Catton's kind of a Clayton Keller type.
Dude,
Yeah,
I could see it
but
on
like, have you seen Verbeek? Remember when I called Leo Carlson last year?
yeah.
No, they like the bigger guys. I could totally see
I
it.
mean,
Mason
like,
McTavish. they
Ryan, I
drafted.
was telling you like even like a few months ago that I think Cade Lindstrom's going to go in the top 3 or top 5.
Yeah, you called it.
Yeah, you did call that. I think I had him at like 8 or 9, but he's really good. I think if Anaheim trades Trevor Zegras, they're gonna go Lindstrom with their top 5 pick.
Isn't it just so weird how like 3 or 4 years ago how we thought Drysdale and Zegras are the future of the Ducks, and now both are. I mean, Drysdale's gone, and now Zegras could be gone.
Yeah. Although to be fair, they did get Cutter Gauthier in that, and I like this is what I mean. Like they love their big, powerful forwards up front.
Nathan Gaucher too. They got Nathan Gaucher. Similar
Nathan
type.
Gaucher, Ben King they took in the second round. Leo Carlson, Mason McTavish. Like
Yeah, that's
But,
true.
yeah.
That's a. You know what? I kind of want to look at the Ducks for a sec. Dude, a lot of these guys have busted. Like Isaac Lundstrom has been fucking terrible.
Yeah, he's been weird. Yeah.
Gruel's
hasn't
been
really done
terrible.
anything.
Jacob Perreault. What happened to
Pastujov.
Jacob Perreault and Braden Tracy?
Braden,
Yeah,
I
Braden
never really
really
was a
felt-
fan of Braden Tracy to begin with, but
I like
Perreault.
Perreault though. I like Gabe Perreault. Gabe Perreault.
I think Perreault's still okay. He just needs a little bit of time.
Pastujov, I haven't heard much from. I don't
That was
know if
my
he's
guy at the
still-
draft a few years ago. That was like
Yeah,
the guy I
I
was
don't know
high
how
on.
he's doing.
He has 9 points in
Who's that?
22 games.
Sasha Pastujov.
Oh, yeah, he was really good for Guelph. Sarnia.
He was
last
an
year.
overager, right? In his draft year, was he an overager?
Yeah.
No, I know, but he went really late. I had him in like the second or first round. I think. And he went like
He went like
sixth round.
He went like the 6th or something like that.
Yeah, I was
That
like,
the
what
year
is
the
going
Leafs
on?
got Ty Voigt. That was the year the Leafs got Ty Voigt.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And
He
then
was
the,
an overager.
Yeah, and then the Oilers got Petrov. I think it was that draft.
Yeah.
class.
I think so.
All right.
Benoit,
I don't know,
Olivier,
because-
Roux.
I will say I think Levshunov could be the first defenseman off the board if Anaheim's picking. I know
Dude, they
have
don't
a
need
lot,
more
Yeah.
D, man. They got a shit ton of D already.
but all of them are lefties.
No,
If
they
you
got a
look at
righty.
them, all-
They got a righty.
They,
Is Mintyukov already?
They
No,
got
I'm pretty sure
Hellison. They
they're-
got Luneau. They got
He's
Warren.
a lefty.
They got 3 right D. Maybe not like a stud right D.
I think Luneau is their only righty. I think.
No, Warren's a righty and Hellison's a righty.
Oh, okay. Mintyukov is a lefty. Who's the? Oh, Lacombe. Is Lacombe a righty?
He plays. Let me see. He's lefty.
Jackson's Lacombe's a lefty. Like I'm not saying they don't have right D guys, but I think in terms of top prospects at right D, like Lunau is like their one guy,
Yeah.
but I would say their top 2 guys, Lacombe and Mintyukov, are both lefties. So I would say if they're taking a defenseman, I think they take Levshunov.
I don't know.
He's their
They like
number
their
one right D for the
OHLD
Yeah.
though. They love their OHLD, so they could go like Sam Dickinson.
Well, I was just gonna say I have Perek higher than Levshunov, and Perek's also a right D, so we'll see.
That's fair.
All right, that was
Yeah,
a.
coach.
Can't really- Why are we going to draft talk? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I mean, it's been a 90-minute podcast, so we've been going for quite some time. Somehow shorter than your guys' fucking mock draft, almost 2 hours long.
Hey,
Somehow.
that was
Hey,
fun.
but it was an informative video. We got a lot of
It's
points
doing well.
across.
Anyways, guys, long video. Thank you guys for watching. we might have another video out in the next few weeks. We'll see. We'll make trade videos when they happen. I know we fucked up the Lindholm and the Monahan trades, but like we had no time to make those videos. Draft stream, we'll see. I don't think we'll probably have a draft stream this year. We'll try to get that figured out. And yeah, any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
Oh no, not really for me. Thank you guys all for the support and for watching our videos. If you enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe.
I second that. And apart from the points said about the Leafs, I think I'm good.
Sorry, I just saw something on Instagram, which is fucking cracking me up. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.